If you enjoy the content, I would appreciate you hitting the subscribe button and checking out my socials. Anubis is the newest addition to the competitive map pool, a map where it heavily favours the T side, leaving scraps of map control for the counter-terrorists. But despite the unfavouring disadvantage, AWPer, with his seemingly random opening picks, unpredictable positioning and constant pressure, is making the AWP effective. Hey, I'm Smirky, and today I want to look at Broky and how he AWPs on the CT side of Anubis, so let's begin. Thanks to today's sponsor, SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is a trading platform where you can buy skins for the best prices. Normally on the site, you will get a 30% deposit bonus, but when you use my code SMIRKY, you will get an extra 5%. And you can also use my code to activate their bonus scheme.
Nice.
Now, Broky has a variety of different ways he likes to use the AWP. We're first going to look at what he does at the start of the round, and then some mid-round positioning, and maybe something else. Let's first take a look at mid. A nice play that Broky likes to do is peek behind the Molotov that his teammate threw. By doing this, he could potentially catch someone running behind the Molotov, perhaps skewing their vision and not expecting Broky to peek behind it. In round 30 he doesn't get a kill, but in overtime he does manage to get one. We can see he will do the exact same thing, staying on the angle for a very long time, where eventually he peeks out and decides to pull a piece of util out in the open, where suddenly Spinks just peeks out. But he does get the kill after re-peeking, and immediately falls off, repositioning and later getting a second. Something else that Broky likes to do is scope very early into the round. By scoping early, it makes it so the T side doesn't know where he is. So we can see in this round, Twist and Broky are going to get set up. They have no idea Broky's on door since he hasn't made any noise, and they can just stay in this good setup, where Broky will take the initial contact, he gets the first kill, Twist playing anti-flash can then help Broky and stop any T's trying to go for the trades. But the setup doesn't quite work out in this round, as Broky gets Molotov, Twist is forced to put it out, Broky tries to reposition, but Twist is good for one. In round 27 we could see the exact same things, but this time it's just reversed, where this time Broky is the one with the A1, playing close anti-flash. Twist will get the initial contact, he gets a kill, Broky peeks out and gets the second. And Broky is going to do something pretty outrageous I think, by trying to go for more, but doesn't get anything in this round. Now let's take a look at a few mid-round positions you might want to use. It's worth noting Broky doesn't really play mid that much during the mid round, but there are still scenarios when he is there. In round 19 against Liquid, he isn't going to have his AWP but will have an AK, and in this round he's just going to be jiggling door from Palace. If he had the AWP, he can just watch the angle and wait for anyone to enter his crosshairs, but since it's quite a far distance and he doesn't want to be instantly tapped, he's just going to jiggle. But it isn't going to matter in this round. It's also worth noting about this position, if your teammate in camera does get peeked from the house, there's not really much you can do since the angles are so isolated. And likewise if you're getting attacked from door. Alternatively, you could play inside of camera. By playing in camera, you can watch house. And like I just said, the angles in mid are quite isolated. So thankfully you are safe from door, but holding house is the only option you have inside of camera, without being exposed to other angles. A cool round I want to quickly showcase is round 20. In this round, Twist is playing inside of door, and Broky's going to throw a high flash. This flash will allow Broky to peek out and try and go for a kill. Unfortunately, he does miss the shot and decides to put himself in this setup, like we've seen before. But for some reason goes off the angle and pulls out a flashbang. I don't know why, but he does it and well, he gets timing hard. Now, let's take a look at that A bomb site. Starting what he does at the start of the round. A very common start for Broky on the A site is to play from pillar. By playing from pillar, he can try to kill the entries if they're rushing B. And to help Broky if he's in trouble, we're going to have Rops on that A site ready to throw a flashbang, allowing Broky to re-peek. As we can see, Broky will go for a shot, Rops will throw a flash, Broky will re-peek, get the second, but at this point it's going to be pretty tough for Broky, as now he needs to fight it out in close quarters AWPing. In overtime we can see something similar. Broky's going to make his way to pillar, Rops is going to make his way towards the A site, where they start fighting. Another setup you can use at the start of the round is this one, where we can see Broky is going to make his way towards pillar, waiting for anyone to come out. Meanwhile, Rops will tuck himself into this corner, playing anti-flash. The whole point of this setup is for Broky to take the initial contact, and Rops to peek, taking any following duels. And this will work fairly well, as quite late into the round, they're going to still be playing this setup. Broky will get the first kill, Rops will kill the trader, meanwhile Broky's looking camera, ready to defend against that A split. To be honest, Broky could have helped Rops defending main, but it's up to you how you want to decide as an AWPer. Unfortunately, he misses the kill on camera. Now he's forced to play pretty close with the AWP, but doesn't quite get the follow-up. And lastly, the last opening duel you can take is this. At the start of the round, Broky's going to full rush out of main and peek into canals, where he gets tagged up pretty heavily. To be honest, it didn't look like Broky was fully aware about the timings, so if you want to stay aware, you can check out this video where I showed all the different meeting points on every map, including Anubis. Now, let's take a look at some positions and setups you can do on that A bomb site. In round 17 against Liquid, we can see favours are going to use this setup. In this, Twist is going to be looking towards camera from pillar, ready to peek out on Broky's contact. Broky is going to be using the site to block any flashbangs, and he's going to be holding the walk out. And I will say, this angle can be pretty nasty if you have an AWP, since it's hard to flash you off the angle. But soon later, Broky will transition into heaven, and I will say you could watch camera from this position, but Broky decides to tuck in a little bit more, maybe playing a bit safe, and plays this one. Against Vitality, we can see the site is going to be used very well. Broky's going to jump down, using the site to dodge any flashbangs. He does get Molotov'd, but manages to get the kill. But at this point, he's forced out into the open, and well, you can probably guess what's about to happen. And of course, as I've just showcased, you can play for pillar if you want to. But I will say you're probably only good for one. If you have a supporting teammate, you might be good for two. But apart from that, you're probably going to be doing some close quarters AWPing as the T's try to rush into you. Now, let's move on to our last bomb site, which is B. B, by far, is Broky's favourite area to play. So during the mid and late rounds, you will see Broky and other AWPers typically come B. At the start of the round, this is one of Broky's favourite angles to hold. By holding this angle, you can try to pick off the first entry in a rush. But I will say, you are super vulnerable to flashbangs, as the entire area above site is completely open to flashbangs. And in round 23, even with a rifle, we can see Broky is going to hold the same angle. But in the scenario you do get smoked off, you could do something cheeky where you boost above the smoke. Unfortunately in this round though, Broky doesn't get the kill. The last pick you can go for on B is B-Con. In pugs, B-Con can be a great place to find openings. But in high tier pugs or in scrims or officials, this pick can be super hard to go for, as consistently teams will smoke off connector if they're trying to do their default, and will typically only leave connector open if they themselves are trying to get a pick for connector. Now, let's take a look at some of Broky's positioning on the B bomb site. and there's quite a bit. An interesting angle I saw from Broky on the A side is this boost. In this round, Rain is going to boost him over, and Rain is going to stay crouched. In this angle, he could find a sneaky way to get a kill, especially if he's using an AWP. But I will say, the only way you're probably going to get a kill is if someone does try to lurk him, which can be pretty unlikely, or if they're trying to execute onto the B site. Another angle you could play is on pillar. If you stay in this position on pillar, you can hold the T's trying to run out on the left side. Meanwhile, your side players can either try to hold B con or hold the right side, making sure they got the T side entry paths covered. If you do want to hold main and you are scared of enemy flashbangs, you could play this angle. By playing this angle, you're using the left side of the wall to completely nullify the sky flashes, apart from if they land directly above you. But do be aware, playing in this position could force you to be in some close quarters AWPing. In round 29, we can see Broky is going to play a very similar angle, except this time he's going to be sat on top of the stairs, having a bit of a weird off angle. But when he does get flashed off the angle, he still wants to keep it, so it will flash himself in and get right back on it. Alternatively, you could play from CT. In this angle, Broky does have a bit of a deeper angle into long, and he does have the option to easily fall off if he needs to. But again, he can easily be affected by flashbangs. Alternatively, you could play pretty deep, and this will nullify the enemy's flashbangs, but unfortunately in this round, Broky is going to get smoked off. So to try fight against it, Broky is going to try hold the smoke, while Karrigan has the left side. Once Karrigan dies, Broky will take over, and will just get pretty aggressive, slowly creeping in with his AWP. Lastly, a common trait I saw from Broky, if that's just re-aggression or just wanting to play a different angle, is him scoping and slowly moving into B-Con. In this round, we're going to have Rain, who's going to be holding B-Con the entire time and allowing Broky to take over. Once Broky has taken over, this will allow Rain to get inside of this corner and just hide, playing anti-flash. So if Broky did get contact, he should be able to get the first, they will swing in, Rain can fight, and Broky could swing out and help him. But in this round, they want to peek out a little more, and if I'm honest, I'm really not a fan of this flashbang, as it's so easy to spot, and with it being such a long range open fight, pretty easy for the T's not to be affected. Alternatively, if your mid player does have flashbangs, you could ask them to use their flashes instead. Now the very last thing I want to talk about is Broky's rotations. How should you move with the AWP? Well, since Broky is the AWPer, it frees himself, allowing him to bounce from different position to position. Like in round 19, Liquid are going to create a lot of mid presence. As a result, Broky is going to come in and rotate in. Another reason for Broky to rotate, and is the main reason of his rotates, is his presence. Whenever Broky makes himself known, he will always try to rotate to a different position. So he might be spotted in mid and decides to make his way onto B. Or he might be spotted on A and all of a sudden he's peeking out bridge. Trying to stay unpredictable and trying to be a step ahead of the enemy's rotates. Now, after watching Broky's POV, I've noticed he's unreadable. Broky uses a wide range of positions at the start of the round, making it hard to predict where that extra man will be for an area. And this also applies during the mid round. He's dynamic. Broky will consistently move throughout the round. If he's spotted, he will move. If there's an area that needs his help, he will move. And lastly, he's aggressive. Broky isn't aggressive in the sense that he's in your face constantly pushing, but will be aggressive with his re-peeks. And perhaps in certain scenarios, he will push in. Personally, I wouldn't recommend constantly going for re-peeks after missing or hitting a shot, as you're not really playing to the numbers. However, I do believe you should play to your strengths, and if you are good with that style, then more power to you. You have no idea how to play apps on T-Side Inferno. Check out this video I did where I broke down JKS and how he defaults towards apartments. That video can be found in the description. Apart from that, thanks for watching, cheers Skins Monkey for the sponsor, and see ya in a bit.